Welcome back to episode 3 of Old Mate Yarns. I'm sitting here with air conditioner controller and shelf of books. And welcome back to episode 3 of Old Mate Yarns. I'm Mitch. We've got Dean Coe and John Harding, both actors in Old Mate. Absolute legends. How we doing?
Doing well.
Loving the mo.
Back from the gym. Let's get into this.
Back from gym, back from bashing people in the head.
My Voltaren has kicked in.
Unfortunately, Mason sends his apologies. He has, quote, the worst fever he's ever had in his life, currently,
Wow.
unquote. So he is bedridden in the dark. He asked if he could have a square on the screen during this podcast and just have it, and just...
In memoriam.
Yes. So I may actually be doing this for the first part of the video. But yeah, I enjoyed our chat last week. I think we've got some questions. Some are from fans, some are dumb, some are
dumb fans, or some are...
Our fans are highly intelligent. Some of the questions are dumb. Some of the dumb questions are from me.
If you're a dumb fan, comment below.
I'm a dumb fan of many things. I'm a dumb actor.
If you're a fan that thinks they're smarter than Dean, comment below.
There's going to be a few comments.
Smart man. So yeah, let's just jump right in. So, if you could have one superpower, what would it be, and why?
Holy shit. I reckon, are we talking like the sort of generic world of like superpowers that you see in like, you know, Marvel movies and shit, or is it, can we be really fucking off the wall?
Can we make it
No,
up?
I think off the wall would be, yeah, make it up.
We can make it up? My mind goes straight to some kind of superpower of healing. Somebody else or
Ooh.
myself.
Healing, I like it. That's
I guess that's
the most
Is that Wolverine?
altruistic.
Although he can only heal himself.
Heal himself.
Yeah. No, not just me.
Like that.
That's weird.
I'd probably go with invisibility. I would be
Flawless.
a cunt about it. None of this saving the day bullshit. I want to be, turn myself invisible or shapeshifter.
Oh,
Yeah.
big fan. Just
Yeah.
human form, or like all shapes, all objects.
Oh, just, everything.
Because that's almost more useful than invisibility.
All shapes and sizes, anthropomorphic, fucking dogs, cats, whatever. It'll solve all my body fucking image issues. So
You would certainly be the most sought after actor, because it'd be like, it's like, shit, we need really fat for this role, and then immediately back to back, have it super fit, and you can just in like one of those 3 months of training.
yeah, except like being a shapeshifter still doesn't make you a good actor. So I'd be like, so I'd take the form of Robert De Niro, and then they'll be like, nah, it's
if
not.
you can play a
not
genuine chameleon, like actually the little, like if you could play
What is it?
Yeah. Imagine watching the form of shifting shape on screen, like live. That'd be fucking the best.
There'd be some neckbeard in the audience just going like, oh, this CG is terrible.
You shouldn't be allowed to play a chameleon if you're not a chameleon.
That is the state of things.
It'll come up, right?
State of the best.
Only actual chameleons can play chameleons. Come on, Dean.
Yeah.
I mean,
This is 2023. All right, next question. I didn't say my superpower, actually.
Oh yeah.
you didn't.
I would fly. I would definitely fly.
And fly.
Was that it?
Yeah. Get anywhere.
What if you get caught?
Really fast.
What if you get caught flying and like they want to do tests on you and shit? Like, what the fuck? Why can this dude fly?
Then I would fly away.
But they catch you. How fast can you fly?
Impossibly fast. The speed of light fast.
Speed of light fast.
Essentially
okay.
teleport, but I could slow down if I wanted to.
But you're impossibly fast. But is your body still exactly the same composition as it is now?
Yeah, I'm still chilling. I'm still making
like
I'm still doing all things the same.
Rip you
but
apart.
I can
if
get everywhere.
If you just went boom and you started going like Mark 1, then your body would just get ripped apart.
Oh, but there's no problems with you shape-shifting to any anything at all.
No, because I can shapeshift. Like you just going from you as your body composition now going
All right,
from
well,
like
I'm
0
built
to...
for it. I'm exactly the same, except that I'm built for going impossibly fast.
Okay, all right. I'm trying to find like the monkey's paw
sure.
type bullshit of it.
Yeah. Whatever you throw at me can just be thrown back at you, Mr. Shapeshifter.
I can shape. What's wrong with shape shifting? How's that
What's wrong
going
with
to come?
flying? What's your problem? Actually, John, could you shapeshift into a pile of money?
Oh,
Can you
yes.
lose part of yourself if you're shapeshifting into something else? Can you lose part of that, and then the remaining what's left of you turns back into you?
Yeah, but then I'd be like 5'6".
so you still lose something.
Like, well,
So
we
how
can't
much
do
of
it.
John can we compromise if he turns into money? Like
How
if
big
you
are
turn
you?
your
How big are your apple boxes?
like if we turned you, we'd have to choose a proportion of you. So we'd have to turn the whole of you into enough money that we could lose 1%.
Yeah.
So
It doesn't look
we
good.
made you. Yeah, I mean 1%. So if we turned you into $100 million,
I know,
and we took $1 million away,
I have the
You'd be
solution.
like
This
6'4".
is probably morally corrupt, but I could heal people for money.
Yeah.
I mean, is that any more corrupt than doctors? Because that's exactly
No.
what they do.
That's fine. That's perfectly fine. That's making a living.
Yeah. Like, you have the man flu? $100,000. No, maybe not. It's a bit expensive for that.
Yeah, I mean, what do GPs charge to give you something that still takes time? And like, what's that worth to
90.
people?
$90
Yeah.
with a $39 Medicare rebate.
Yeah, would your superpower be covered by Medicare, do you reckon?
No,
Technically, you're just a really, really, really good specialist.
I'll be the best GP ever.
Yeah.
There's no referral.
That's like bordering
no
on
referral,
Jesus level.
You're fucking sorted.
I mean, that's essentially Jesus at this point.
Yeah, but you're the only GP that can't come and try and scam drugs off.
Yeah.
Well, you can
Yeah.
turn yourself into Dexius, so.
Tell you what, I healed this fucking text neck.
Yeah, man. Tuck that chin. Do some of these. What do you got? Yeah, there is no
I just
moan.
accidentally laughed like Dom DeLuise and Burt Reynolds. You know that Cannonball Run laugh that they do?
So specific.
That was their thing.
That's such a smoker's laugh.
I haven't smoked in 15 years, although you've made me smoke in this thing.
I know, made you double up. Brutal, I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Thanks, Mitch.
You like quit smoking, and I'm like, how would you like to smoke 2 at once? Every take.
I appreciate them being herbal
You're welcome.
and not in a good
Does the
way.
menthol, does it make much of a difference? Like, is it just nicer, or is it?
I
It's
kind of
pretty
don't
intensive,
remember being in the moment. I kind of, I'm like, nah, it's not
Mm.
me.
Because I smoked them, and like the menthol does make a difference, but at the same time, like it just sort of takes the edge off like smoking that much, because you just sort of like this herbal is a lot.
Yeah,
But I imagine not having the other herbal ones to compare with.
it's awful.
It's like,
Either way. But hey,
what's that?
he
Smoking 2
smokes.
cigarettes
so
at once. Oh.
it'd be weird if he didn't.
Mm. There's so much of that graphic novel quality of the film. Smoking 2. It's like in passing, you're just like, what?
Hmm.
I love when characters just have a quirk, like just an odd scar on their face.
I like how it's 2 cigarettes.
Hmm.
Draft actually asked that question at the test screening. He asked
Why
why
is he-
2 cigarettes?
Yeah. What's the answer?
Double down self-destruction.
Hey.
But yeah, I'm noticing a lot of themes of Kit's double down self-destruction. Shot. You can add a sound effect to that, Dan. And
I had a moth flying towards me. Still alive.
It was Deadly Attack. Jean-Claude Van Damme did.
Yes. Karate Kid.
Yeah.
Chopsticks.
But what was I saying? Yeah, a lot of double down things. Like in the promo video, the social version for this, I showed the snippets from what we've already shot. And so I had you lighting the 2 cigarettes as an image above the car with the headlights turning on. And so it was like 2 cigarette blooming, and then 2 car headlights.
Hey.
And it also was the 2 stripes of the car above the headlights. So it sort of had just like a whole lot of 2s. And I think Kit has the shadow of Nigel. Sophia as a character is sort of reminiscent of the High Priestess tarot card. It has the 2 pillars, and so I sort of had the open doors on either side of her as sort of like 2 big pillars, and so I had the curtains blowing. So it was sort of the dark and the light next to her on both sides. And so I had like 2 metal door handle kind of things. That was CG. Put in later, those doors. All right, next question.
Yeah, what other questions you got?
If you had to fight one person, dead or alive, who would you fight?
I wouldn't want him to be a good fighter, that's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I would fight John. No. That is not my answer. Fuck that.
Yeah, the sadomasochistic part of me is like, ooh, who's someone good I could fight? And he'd beat the fuck out of me.
Mike Tyson?
I don't know. Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson now or Mike Tyson back then? No.
Oh, fuck, neither. Mike Tyson now would beat the
True.
Christ. God damn.
I will say ScoMo.
Oh, great answer. Fucking the best answer. Coming for your ScoMo. Fucking watch out.
Look out. Imagine if he beat me.
Yeah, best answer. No, the only thing he can fuck is the entire of Australia.
Yes. That's mine.
Oh,
Yeah, blows any other answer out of the water, honestly.
George Lincoln Rockwell, leader of the American Nazi Party post-World War II.
Oh, great answer.
He's
I
a
love it.
cunt. But he's like one of the most influential voices of Nazism of all time because he's just
Yeah, fuck
fucking
that.
Outside of Germany. You don't have neo-Nazis. You don't have fucking Proud Boys. You don't have like white supremacy in the modern sense without fucking George Lincoln Rockwell. Like he came up with the fucking white power slogan. He galvanized like uniting sort of like right-wing groups in like the 60s. He got killed in the 60s by one of his own guys. But yeah, like 40s, 50s, 60s, he was like pushing the American Nazi Party. And partly also why I'd want to fight him. Well, A, he's a cunt. But B, he's a big guy. Like, he's like 6'2", 6'3", he's a solid guy. So, like, you know, he looks like he could kind of have a bit of a fight. And he did get into fights. So it's like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's fight that guy.
Fuck yeah.
Either that or, like, dudes like fucking, Enrique Tarrio and cunts like these from the Proud Boys who are all these dickheads who want to get into fights into groups, but they're all pussies one-on-one. I just want to fight these cunts.
Yeah, nah, fuck him.
What's that
These are
really
great
right?
answers.
What's that really right wing guy's name with the really thick eyebrows?
Ben Shapiro?
Yes.
He's such a twerp.
I also want to fight him.
I'd feel bad beating him up because he's such
I'll make him my
twerp.
answer. I'll make him my answer so you can.
Oh,
in
oh,
place of me.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to lie. For the first probably 6 months of knowing about Ben Shapiro, I confused him and Farmer Bro. His name Martin Shkreli.
Oh,
I couldn't tell them apart. Yeah. They're both weaselly little.
Easy, bro.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. You fight him, Mitch.
Yeah. I would take him on. He's more in my size and realm. Absolutely. And then I would have so much anger riled up against him philosophically that I would just rip him to shreds. All right. Next question. If you were a food, which would you be?
If I was a food, what would I be?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my mum's zucchini slice. Simple. It's big. It's kind of rough looking, but it tastes delicious.
I like it.
This is also John's Tinder profile.
Oh, yeah.
He doesn't have Tinder.
Which I don't have, Maurice. I don't have a Tinder profile.
For the record, he does not have one. It's just a funny guy.
Yeah.
Dave?
I want to be Dua Lipa's favourite food in the restaurant the night that she's there.
And what's that?
I don't know. Whatever that is.
Are we finding out? John's on the case.
So, in a sense, I would...
Birek and Peter. No, Birek and Peter. In fact, burek and pita are her favourite comfort foods. She reveals that she loves Albanian cuisine and dishes like ajvar, a dipping sauce made out of red bell peppers, spinach pie, and sujuk. Sujuk?
Okay. So you're a capsicum sauce thing.
Yes. But this is
You're a
win-win because
That counts. You're a capsicum.
You're a capsicum.
it's kind of win-win. Because really, if she ingests me, I should become part of her genetic makeup in a way, like maybe become a cell of her fat or muscle,
There you go.
and then I'll become incredible.
I mean, if you're a capsicum, you're fiber, so you're getting past. That's not.
I'll become part of a very successful human being.
You'd need to be the protein that she eats, not the fiber.
That's-
That she's getting passed straight out as a capsicum.
She just
That's
burns
like
me
a
off.
weird ass DM that like celebrities get. It's like, oh, I want to be a cell in your fat. Okay,
I bet you've got
man.
those, haven't you, Dan?
You can't
You've
DM
received
it.
those messages before.
I don't think. When those stories come up, you can only press
You've tried?
the top part. You can't, you
I
can't
don't
type.
think.
I certainly won't be saying that.
Dino's like, mate, I've tried all of them. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Mate, yeah.
I've tried being a capsicum. Tried being
That
a
should be
restaurant.
maybe that should be my superpower. Become a capsicum.
Keep coming.
If you're
Mate,
John,
I'm
you
the
can be a
shapeshifter.
shapeshifter. And you could actually just be
John.
Julie. You could be the whole of it. You could be every one of the cells.
Yeah, but there we go. That's what I want to be. What about you, Mitch?
Oh, shout out to the restaurant downstairs. I want to be whatever they're cooking because that food is incredible.
Food.
This is Louis Bar in Coogee. My God, the food is to die for. I met him because I was a head down, bum up in a skip bin of his shit as he's gutting out the last place that was downstairs. And I was trying to build a balcony for Sophia's scene. So I was looking for spare wood, and he took me through all the construction site, gave me some better wood, sawed it. It was great. And so he
So he gave you
contributed
wood?
to the balustrade.
I forgot. I haven't mentioned that on air, have I?
What's that? Fucking what?
But no,
No,
we've been.
I just got a lovely D&M from a guy called Toronto Foot with something or other, and his profile picture was a picture of the sole of his foot.
Oh,
gave me-
ugly foot, mate.
He gave me three
Sorry, we
fire,
did talk about
fire emojis. I appreciate it. Toronto Foot, dude.
So does he want to see your feet or?
He didn't ask. I
There's
think he's
good
more
money
of
there.
I think he's more of a foot exhibitionist than a foot fetish search. No, he's not looking for my feet. He's,
Foot is
Oh,
a foot fetish is called.
I think. I mean,
maybe
I've only
maybe
got
he'll pay you money to show
to watch
your
his feet.
him your he'll pay you money for you to look at his feet.
Now, there's a question. Would we do that for money? I'd do it.
Yeah.
What I mean,
He was
to what
lying.
extent is his? To what extent is his feet getting up in my girl?
Oh,
Like-
no. What normally happens? Let's ask Tarantino.
Oh yeah,
seems
he's a
to-
bit of a foot guy. Hey?
Like to film them up close.
Mm.
I've got one homage.
They
shot.
always look incredible, though. I gotta say.
Oh, what's
I think
your
it says a lot about a character. Pardon me.
I was
you
saying,
say,
what's
John?
your homage?
The one homage shot to Tarantino and his foot fetish. So you're by the beach in the car that you've stolen from Nigel, and you plug in your headphones and you're just like fagging
yes.
out. And I like the idea of your feet cross out the window and your foot's tapping to the beat, but your socks are really like full of holes. And so it just
You've
says a
got
lot
socks
about.
on, then.
Well, kind of, because you can see through them because they're holy.
Yeah, that's all right. But if it was just my bare feet,
No,
hideous.
you got. Do your feet not look like your head then?
The only foot fetish person that would be into my feet is a sicko.
Well, yeah, socks, holy socks. And then sort of, I don't know exactly how the shot's going to go, whether it sort of we're outside the window and looking into the car, or whether we sweep past your feet and go in through the window and into the car, which is more complex, but would probably look better. And I like the idea of, seeing you kind of just like lying back, just fucking tapping your foot, and then sort of going out the window and then seeing like the horizon as like just before sunrise. I think that'd be, and like to a song. I think that'd be a cool shot.
It's going to be an early call time now.
I mean, the beauty of New South Wales is it can also be sunset.
Yeah.
We'll be right back after a short piss. Welcome back to episode 3 of Old Mate Yarns. I'm sitting here with air conditioner controller and shelf of books. How's your week been, John? What's going on?
When was some pro wrestling on Monday night?
Oh, sick. I saw it. Yeah, I saw a story about that. How was it? Oh, there it is.
Oh, that was awesome. It was so good.
Fuck yeah. Whereabouts is that?
I almost expected you to be a part of the action
Cool.
at some point.
Oh, yeah, I wasn't going to be surprised.
Like you're going to
these dudes were fucking... These dudes are huge. They were fucking juiced to the gills. They were big boys. But no, it was awesome.
Yeah, far out.
There was some
that ended up
absolute
in the
fucking juice.
that ended up in the corner with his back to the corner. His back was insanely big.
Yeah, he was big.
Jesus.
Yeah, it was good fun. It's good fun.
Awesome. Yeah, I was expecting you to pop up like Jake Gyllenhaal after John Jones' fight.
No, not quite.
And we're back. I love the idea of actually touring the feature film a similar kind of way, like just hitting up pubs and clubs around like the eastern states of Australia.
This is how old I am. You remember the Italian films? And it was Bud and Spencer.
Oh, no.
Have you guys heard of that?
No.
It was like I don't know which was which, but it was a small, good-looking dude. They're both Italian dudes. Small, good-looking dude, blue eyes. He almost was a bit Paul Newman-esque, but with even like a really square jaw.
I think you've told me about this.
And a bigger dude. Yeah, I did. Yeah, a bigger dude.
Yeah, and they have a bar fight. Oh,
yeah,
no. Are you still there?
There were just ridiculous bar fights in every film that they ever made. But
Yeah.
the point of me talking about them is I think the people from their production company or the distributor somehow would, like, this is bizarre, bring these films to high schools and we'd watch them on a projector at lunchtime.
All right.
Yeah,
But-
violent punch-up bar fight films.
I mean, they were pretty like camp. Like they were very like you could very clearly
it's
tell
like
they weren't
a big
real.
guy like hits somebody on the top of the head. It's like doink.
Yeah, and it
noise.
sort of like goes down. Yeah,
Yeah,
no, it definitely
yeah.
wasn't in the realm of the video games those same kids are playing today.
Show my age.
But
Yeah, that was
who was
fun.
bringing him? Who was bringing him to high schools?
I mean, I obviously don't remember because I was a teenager in high school. I'm like, oh, is it this distributor bringing the film here? Like, I didn't know.
Yeah, interesting. Was it like just the
there was-
teachers
there was-
like trying to keep people out of trouble? Like just put him on? Or was it actually like an external like group?
I feel like it was an external thing. And
Yeah, right.
another time I was at the local workers club and somebody brought a projector and the film and you had to buy tickets, like cheap tickets,
Yeah.
to go to the
Yeah.
workers club.
Yeah, like $5.
And it was one of Val Kilmer's first films, Top Secret.
Oh, fucking love that movie. That's so much fun.
Yeah.
It's like
Saw that at
Top Secret.
a workers club.
That's brilliant. That movie is like real parody, right?
Oh
That's
yeah,
what I'm thinking of. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I used to love that movie.
He was like a rip off of an Elvis or something.
yeah. Too good.
And I also
so
saw
did that,
Mad Max 2 at my high school on projector that somebody brought to the school somehow. I don't know.
yeah, right. Was Mad Max 2 rated?
Anybody in the film industry that's older, comment below if you know. If that was like a
What
distribution.
the Mad Max 2
or
premiere
what.
at high school? Yeah.
I don't know.
There
Interesting.
you go.
Isn't it?
Well, fuck it. Let's show Old Mate at high school. I'm sure all the fucks will go down real well.
I
in this
tell you
day
what,
and
when,
age.
when down in my year 11 psychology class, I convinced the teacher to play a Clockwork Orange because the teacher was asking about what sort of references to psychology sort of theories and practices in popular culture, and I was explaining the scene in Clockwork Orange, the classical conditioning of where they're
Ludovico technique.
keeping the eyes open and she's like, "Oh, we'll bring that movie in." And I'm like, "Yeah, great, yeah, sick." And then we started watching A Clockwork Orange in the psychology class, and it got to the sort of fairly, hectic rape scene, and she's just, nah, just shut it off. Yeah.
I love you got away with that much of the movie.
Yeah.
They used to happen. This is showing
Like
my age again as
the
well.
naked women with the milk coming out of their
Oh,
boobs.
I think maybe it was the milk. Maybe it was like the naked women bouncing around.
I mean, that was the first shot. Like, it starts close up and then it comes out, and then you just see, like, yeah.
I'm trying to think, how far did we get into it?
Sorry, Betty.
I know, this is a
Right,
long ass
Betty.
time ago, but I just remember we were playing it and then it's like she had to shut it off at some point. Because it's like, no, we can
I imagine that you could get away with that. As like, okay, art, let it slide.
yeah.
Kids know the difference. And then, by the time it gets to the rape scene. It's
Also, I
I
still
have a
kind of
fly.
blame the teacher a little bit for not, like, looking up A Clockwork Orange beforehand.
due diligence. Oh, this film was banned for 20 years after its release in the country it was made. Yes, let's show this in high school.
This reminds me of when SBS first arrived in Australia, which
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah.
And you know what SBS is like, European films. There's sex and there's nudity. I was
Pushes
having a
and boundaries.
sleepover at a friend's house, and their parents would be like, "Oh, you guys can watch a movie, like this new SBS station's on." Putting wall to wall ass and boobs in the first 5 minutes. It's going off! Like,
Do you reckon SBS really shook shit up for Australia?
it did. I think it's a fantastic channel.
I love it.
Not just for that reason.
Any more questions?
Yeah, 2 more questions.
Oh.
We're going to have a fan question. Is there a difference for you guys as actors, and for me as a writer-director, I suppose, is there any difference prepping for a 10-minute short as opposed to a feature film?
No, not for me.
In this particular context, no, I wouldn't say so because we already had the entire script. So we've got the feature script behind it anyway. So you understood that it was 10 minutes as part of a whole story. I definitely think, there's given newer versions of the script, I might potentially revisit and look at it differently. But I don't tend to think so. Also, the point from starting to look at the script to we're shooting just the 10 minutes is a bit of a quick turnaround we figured out, and it was a very much condensed sort of shoot. So I think that what we did on the day, if we do get to shoot it again, will change a lot. But I don't think preparation will be too much different. Or is he? I don't know. Is the question more kind of like separate, on separate projects? Would you work differently on a short film than a feature?
I like your answers because, I guess in our context for this particular project, we have been treating the whole thing like a feature, of which we've only shot part of, as opposed to a short film. But I do like, John, what you said. You mentioned you might do some things differently. Is there anything, like, what would you do differently with things that you've learnt since the shoot?
I would probably, figure out what all the different ways that I'd really make Nigel prior to his sort of death. I think he needs to have much more of a sense of just not caring about anything. It's like I'm just going through the motions day to day, because I think he's got things that he needs to do, and he's got this persona that is sort of built up, and that's Nigel after death is kind of like almost ego death, sort of in it from a certain perspective of just like all this shit that he's built up in his previous life is just kind of wiped away, and he's like now can build back up to figuring out what he wants out of life. And I think Nigel from our 10-minute shoot was probably quite sort of like looked like he's pretty happy to be there. I think I need to layer in a bit more, just of like, oh, this is fucking, like, he's still putting on the game face because that's what we're doing, but you've got to layer in a bit more of like, fuck, same old shit.
I think, but at the same time, what I got from being in Kit's shoes, dealing with your Nigel, the fact that he's willing to be smart ass in the face of death kind of makes it seem like he doesn't give that much of a fuck.
I definitely got a lot of that.
There's a lot
not
of
giving a fuck vibe. Yeah.
A lot of that in there.
Yeah.
And I would also say,
I need to watch the bloody thing first.
Yeah, yeah. When you see the takes that I've chosen, I think you'll definitely see a lot of that.
Yeah.
You know, I suppose just in some of the performance, I suppose that you brought there was it was like you did strike a balance of it was not giving a fuck, but also putting on a show as well, which is like, you know, Jane, you did as well. It's like there's the character, and then there's like the awareness of the audience and like doing things that are, you know, interesting, because you can be, you know, I think there's a sliding scale. We could also be too much of not giving a fuck that it's not as entertaining. Whereas I did think you both struck a really charismatic balance of like not caring, but also bringing humor to it. Which, that's a struggle that I didn't really think about. That's like a challenge I didn't really think about. Is that's quite a hard balance to find. Hey, like, because not giving a fuck is essentially boring by its very essence.
Yeah. I mean, the comedy side of it is there very clearly on the page, I think.
Okay, yeah.
John, don't you reckon? I mean, I gave a really short answer saying that no, it's no different. To go back to the question.
Okay, so let me rephrase the question now, because obviously on this project we treated it like a feature the whole time. But how about more broadly? So for other productions that aren't Old Mate, do you treat shooting a short film differently to shooting a feature?
Not really for me. And I only discovered that by doing a feature film where, you know, previous to it, the anxiety of, holy shit, I've got to do all this in however many weeks, 6, 7, 8 weeks. That can seem like a huge undertaking, and like, oh shit, do I need to approach that in a different way to a short film? But once you're in it, you like just in life, you just presented with this moment, like you have to do this today, and this is just another short film that you're shooting today, and so you just approach it as a new short film every day. But you know, with a longer arc, you need to be pretty clear in your head with where you are in the scheme of things if it's not shot sequentially. But no, I don't feel like the preparation is any different, except for, you know, I did spend, like, I learned lines by recording every scene. I mean, every scene in the entire feature film, I'll record onto my phone, the same as I do with a short film, flat, with no performance, just factually what happens within the scene, and I walk and I listen to it and I learn it. Yeah,
brilliant memory technique.
I mean, so there was a lot more time leading up to a feature of listening to all of those different scenes, like, which was me the first time I'd never shot a feature before. I felt like I needed to know it all before I started.
Right.
But I absolutely didn't have to. Really. And I found like I'd find new discoveries after shooting, you know, what would be a short film section of the feature, you know, 10 minutes, whatever. Just
That's
living
an interesting
that 10
concept.
minutes, you know, like that. It almost gives you like a leg up when you approach the next 10 minutes of the film, because the 10 minutes that we shot, if we do have to shoot that again, we shoot it again. The sake of like living in those scenes as Kit for that 10 minutes of screen time really allowed me to discover what it is to be Kit and to be in his shoes when we do it. I mean, I'm straight off the topic now.
No, this is all magic. I love it. Yeah, it's an interesting one. I suppose the best rehearsal is like one that's as though it's filmed, like as though it's actually the movie. Yeah,
there's part of me that hopes that it stays that first.
I also would like the idea that it stays, one, from a energy point of view, like we don't have to whole ass again. 2, there was something so timely and magical about, like, so the location that we got for that warehouse that we shot in for that very first shoot, which was for a lot of the night. A mate of a mate had that, or her parents had it or something, and she was going to knock down the whole studio, that whole abandoned warehouse, for a sound recording studio. and it was just not worth trying to redo what was there. So they were just going to knock it all down and start again. And so as we were walking around, she's like, yeah, we're not even really sure why the electricity's still on. Like, we don't know who's paying that. I haven't paid electricity in like 6 months. And like the water and everything, all the facilities were still there, operational, but didn't know how long for. So I was like, shit, we're going to hustle. So I pulled all that together at the last minute. I had a deathly flu the entire shoot.
Yes.
It was horrible. I was so vague and not as present as I wanted to be on the first shoot of my feature film. But there was something so magical about just like absolutely just pulling it all together, and the space, burned to death, just scrawled on the wall, and like burn patches and fucking all this rubbish already there added so much to the vibe. And then, the bringing you guys in, and I mean, fucking shooting in St. Peter's is just a terrible idea in general because it's right on the flight path. And there was that little fucking aircon vent thing, and the little plastic would just go throughout the entire shoot. So I had to cut around that. There's so much bullshit. But it was so organic, and it was just that lightning in a bottle. We just had the right environment, the right people in the environment. Everyone just came to it in the right way at the right time, and just boom, it's alchemy. Just turn the whole more than the sum of its parts. Just let into gold, sort of thing. But yeah, I mean, I just wish I didn't have a fucking flu. Like, I wish I could have been sharper. Because there's things in the edit.
I don't.
It's not how I planned it.
You're always going to feel like that, man.
Yeah.
How do you feel, John? As far as there's part of the reason why I prefer if that first 10 minutes stays is because once I've lived moments from a script in real life in the scene, I feel weird living it again. Like I'm not gonna 100% be in that moment again. Like,
Yeah, I get you.
And the naturalism that comes with it.
I don't know.
Feel like that?
I don't know. I have to actually see it first.
Yeah.
We're on the case. I'm trying.
I'm not saying. Actually, one thing I do like about if we do keep that first 10 minutes is heaps fatter. I'm like,
there was a distinct difference when you do come back at the end. Like, yeah, you look badass.
yeah, when we're shooting that one, I was a good 12 to 15 kilos heavier than I am sort of now. Because I hadn't been doing anything for ages, and I was like, "Fuck, I need to get back into boxing." And that's where I got back and just stripped off like almost 15 kilos.
Yeah, wow.
And so yeah, it's like a kind of machinist sort of thing of just like being a bit fat, a bit tubby at the start, and then he just like as part of the process just stripped everything.
Yeah, well,
it's like visually. He's very representative of his arc, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and we were also saying like when you do die, like you lose a bunch of water weight anyway. So I like the idea of it. Just the transformation looks so much more intense, going from seeing you months apart but like next to each other. I definitely, there was such magic about the shoot. The only, I suppose, the bigger benefit for redoing it. I'm with you both. Like, I would love to keep it. I just think the production value is going to get so much better once we have money, and once we have more time and the camera setups and everything like that. And just given that it is the very, very start of the movie, and we've got to hit it so hard.
Yeah.
If we did shoot it again, what I'd want to do is pretty much shoot the entire film first, and then revisit it at the end, because then the arc that you've gone through, understanding these characters, putting the last thing at the front, I think would be such a strong way. Like the things we'll learn throughout filming the whole thing, and then putting all of that consolidated at the front, and then going, bang, fucking old mate, would be how I'd probably approach it if we did shoot it again. And
if we do it that way,
scenes.
give us like 3 weeks in between shooting all the rest of the stuff. 15 kilos back on.
Pack it on.
Fucking, mate, pizza every night.
Yes, on the production, paid for by the production. Just whatever food you want, just make a shopping list, and we'll just hand it to you. Don't get up, don't lose any of the weight. Just stay right there.
Just fucking sticks of butter. Just
okay, cool. So that's the second last question. Those are great answers. I love this. Last question. Actually, well, we got the two last questions. So first one is, what is the movie that we're going to watch for next week? And I'll tell Mason to jump in on this as well.
Oh, yeah.
Should we make it a newer movie?
Or
should we make it
should
an
it
old
be
movie?
something that exists, like, in the reason I said Australian film is because, as we know, most Australian films come and go because they don't have a publicity budget, that they just, the average person that's, not the average person, but the person that's not in this industry don't hear about.
Don't know about. Yeah. No, I like that. Aussie films. All right, well, off the top of my head, the first two that come to mind are obviously, I mean, film-related, Two Hands, but I feel like that is probably more well-known. The second one would be Down Under. You guys seen that?
Yeah, that was good.
Solid movie.
That was fun.
And
Yeah, because that's
one that I
Look
think...
at that.
Hey?
that's a Cronulla Riots one, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Oh, is it?
yeah. No, that was good.
good fun. So they're probably
that?
the first two.
The
Abe
other one
Forsyth directed it.
that was on the top of my head was Running on Empty.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, I know
Yeah.
of that.
Yeah, from like 1980 something or other. It's got Terry
That-
Terrio in the lead, and Terry's the man.
I think if it's the one I'm thinking of, this is referred to me a lot by. Yeah, totally. Yeah. So this was the guys who I rented the car from in the first 10 minutes of Old Mate. They kept referring to Running on Empty as like the last good Aussie car movie.
Yeah, right.
So this is like the Two Hands from our car angle, basically.
Yeah,
So I think this would be a great one to watch. I've actually not seen it.
Is it the boys that own that $200,000 orange car?
The $250,000 Ford GT 351. Yeah,
Fucking hell.
yeah. And they're like they
That's
reckon Aussie car culture will get behind Old Mate in a big way if we have like a few more cars like that, and we're really showing emotion. We'd have a huge audience there.
Speaking of cars, have you guys seen The Big Steal?
No, but were you telling me about it?
It's so fucking good.
Big Steal.
It's Ben Mendelsohn.
Yeah.
It's got one of those old Aussie bastions of like 1980s Australian cinema that was in the first Mad Max.
Yes, yeah,
Well,
totally.
Steve
Mad Max
Bisley.
Offsider. Yeah.
What was
Yeah.
that?
Steve Bisley.
This film's fucking great,
Yeah.
man.
Oh, I got
Oh, fuck
Frank.
Big Steal.
Got Frank Holden.
So good.
All right, so the question is, which one are we watching first, Big Steal or Running on Empty?
Should we choose ones that none of us have seen?
I mean, I think these two are strong starts because
I've not seen Running on Empty.
I've not seen Running on Empty. No. All right, we're Running on Empty.
Well, there you go.
Let's do it. All right,
Sounds
so
fun.
movie of the week is Running on Empty, and next week we shall discuss. I'll tell Mason to jump in.
Cool.
Cool. And then very last question. Old Mate of the week.
Oh, shit.
Fuck, I've got about a dozen from this bloody pro wrestling event I went to.
Oh, I can imagine. Top one, top three.
Oh, so just this top one, this weird dude. So you get some characters at local pro wrestling events. These girls were having like a triple threat, fighting. One of them, Shazza McKenzie, was fighting. And where we're standing in the crowd, you got this bloke, quite, overweight fella, his flat cap, and he starts going, "You suck, Shazza!" And you kind of go, "Oh yeah, it's a bit of a pantomime type thing of like, yeah." Then about every sort of 10 seconds, he'd go, "You suck, Shazza!" Same pitch, same
Yeah, exactly
intonation,
the
same words, like, and we Gary and I are standing there. We just start laughing every time he says it. I just burst out laughing because I just want to go, "Mate, like, just come up with something else for fuck's sake." And it just got real. So we ended up just after about the like fifth or sixth, "You suck, Shazza." We just started going like, "We love you, Shazza. You're a great wrestler." People are laughing and pointing, just like literally, just every time he'd yell that out, we'd just like quick as a flash afterwards, just be heaping praise on Shazza. But funny thing was, like after the show, all the wrestlers, they had like their tables to do signings or whatever. We came up to Shaz and we're like, "Oh, just letting you know that you don't suck. And they're, oh, thanks, guys. And like, yeah, that guy was a bit weird. And she goes, oh, that's Kyle. And she's like, it's just some dude who just rocks up to all the local shows and just mouths off at her. I'm like, all right, yeah, cool. Fucking weirdos got issues with women. So, nah.
And then he does morning radio with Jackie O.
But yeah, that was my old mate of the week. He was an interesting kid.
Well, on behalf of the Old Mate production,
Was it like that?
Yeah, that's the one. All right, old mates of the week.
Dean, Old Mate of the week.
Jesus.
All right.
I haven't thought of it. I haven't thought about it.
My Old Mate of the week, there was a bloke down on the Rainbow Steps, and there's people there that busk sometimes, and this guy was a fire thrower. So his fire throwing game was pretty fun, but his banter with the audience was not that great, and he started just making Trump jokes, and this was like this week. So like they're probably like 2 or 3 year dated jokes. I thought that the energy had died completely from his bad jokes, but then turned around and did this fucking flippy thing with fire. Turns out throwing fire heals all wounds. He really, man knows how to fire throw.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I got to say he'd have to be the Old Mate of the week.
That's wild.
Can you do a soundbite for us right now, and put a bit of like a "That's wild."
That's wild. It needs to be whispered.
Go for one more.
That's wild. Does it need to be whispered? That's wild.
Cool. In that vein, let's go. It's like a sting. So you will have flames on screen, and we'll show the text like.
That's wild.
Love it.
American. It had to be American, right? American accent.
All right. Well,
American accent?
actually, no, it can't be because Old Mate is Aussie as fuck. So let's do the
Right,
Aussie equivalent.
Am I getting paid to act right now? Fuck. That's wild. Yeah, but it's me, not kid. It says that's wild. Or is it? That's wild.
Can you?
That's wild. Fuck me. I don't want to fucking act, Mitch. Act, Mitch.
Do one more for us. Then we'll call
How
it.
do you want it?
Exactly like you've been doing it without me interrupting you.
That's wild.
Love it.
Too broad for kid. Sounds
Too
like
broad.
Yobbo kid.
But is it a kid or is it you?
No, this is Old Mate
I don't
Young's.
know.
This is just Old Mate Young's.
Alright.
It's disembodied. It's
That's wild.
love it. Love them all.
That's really not me. That's maybe.
No, but it's not anyone. It's the That's Wild sting. It just has to be like the That's Wild.
I don't have an old mate of the week, but I have an old mate that you just reminded me of from my young years.
Mm-hmm.
And he was a performer in a circus. And he was on a unicycle at a circus, and he had this trick where he had like a really long skewer that he would bite on with his teeth. He'd unicycle around the circus ring or whatever. And I was there with, I think, both of my brothers and a bunch of my male cousins. And he threw a bunch of oranges to the crowd. And he's like, throw the oranges to... I don't know if he had the thing in his mouth when he said it, or he said it to us, but he's like, throw the oranges and I'll fucking spike them with the skewer. And people were doing it, and every time he caught every one of them on the skewer somehow. Most of them, I think. Like, who knows?
Yeah.
My teenage memories. It was every one. No, it might have been only a couple that he actually stabbed with it. But every time he did it, he also managed to say, hut, hut, every time he did it. And from that point on, my brothers and my cousins, anytime, like, we'll say, oh, you want a beer? And I go, hut. So this guy has, like, infiltrated our language, like, to this day.
I love it.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's kind of like if you're about to throw up a bit. It's like,
Like, I'll see you tomorrow. Hut. From this fucking circus performer. That's an old mate for me. Like, but
He's
not
an
this
old mate,
week.
for sure. Circus performers. I mean, there's no trick to it. They just like catching oranges on a skewer. There's no trick to that. You just
I
fucking
don't know.
keep doing it till you can do it. So I have a huge admiration for circus performers. My first ex was in the circus. She did like the silks falling from Sky. She like wrap herself up to the middle of the like top of the ring and then
Oh yeah,
twirl herself down.
those girls look pretty
Um,
sexy usually.
Down straight.
I thought you were gonna say she's a bearded
gave her-
lady or some shit.
Yeah, my first ex was the bearded lady.
Oh,
No, she got a lot of hernias doing the silks. It kind of fucks up your belly because you're kind of like leaning back like from one leg in the air
Oof.
as you're untangling, and then like
Tricky,
going
man.
centimeters from the ground and then like stopping abruptly. So yeah, it can't be good for you.
did you do the stuff where you jump on the
looked
mini
incredible.
tramp and you do like a somersault and you land on some other motherfucker's head and they hold you there?
No, they
Another
weren't
one
those
doesn't-
guys though. They were very cool. They were like the hot shots.
So
They were like
exciting.
the famous star kind of ones. They were the ones doing the trapeze and everything else, doing all the big spectacular like set pieces and shit. But yeah, seeing circus performers just behind the scenes, just practicing, it's just relentless. Like they just do it over and over and over and do nothing else until they just get their act down. Like the jugglers just juggling machetes and shit. Like yeah, their practice is just juggling machetes and shit. It's fucking crazy. What's the trick to it? No trick. Just don't cut your fingers
Can't.
off. Go.
It's kind of a trick.
But like, there's no sleight of hand to it. There's no like safe backup. There's no hidden catch. There's no like there's nothing. There's nothing about them that makes what they do.
I get what you mean. It's
Yeah.
it's the act itself that is the performance. It's not so much
Yeah.
that they're. I guess. I mean, I've seen some clowns project pretty well.
Clowns are the clowns were interesting. The clowns were raising a very young daughter. Two clowns, both female clowns, and a little bit whimsical off stage, but at the same time, just like really genuine people. Like they weren't trying to be funny when they weren't being clowns. But their daughter, I forget her name, but she was like
Clown.
she had good heritage. She was like, I don't know, just starting to walk, maybe a year and a half years old, maybe. I don't really know. And they would just treat her like an adult, and they would just be like, telling her to make choices. And it's like, is that the choice you really want to choose? Like, just leveling like I'm talking to you now, that they would be talking to this 1-year-old. And it was amazing how she just filled the role of being an adult, and she was just the most mature 1-year-old I ever met. It was like, after dinner, taking her own dishes up and like trying to wash them herself and shit.
Like, here, have a whiskey.
What? Yeah. Just pouring herself a glass of wine. A sophisticated 1-year-old.
There's something to be said for that, though. I reckon. I never.
Right?
I never. My daughter's mum and I never did baby talk, really, to our daughter. I don't want to say her
Yeah.
name on the podcast, but.
Yeah.
And we'd speak to her like in an adult way, even describing that we're changing the nappy or like this, that, or the other. Like,
Yeah. Right.
and she was really advanced in reading and that kind of thing pretty early. I think as a result of that, that you don't dumb it down too much.
Totally. I definitely agree with you. I think there's a lot there.
But yeah, treating a 1-year-old like an adult completely, like getting to do the dishes.
No, I don't think they didn't make her, but it was just like, I guess, like she was trying to go up and do it or something. They would obviously take it off her. But I like the idea. I think every
that's
child
good,
wants to be taken
man.
seriously. Yeah, I think every child wants to be
they do.
taken seriously, and every adult is just a child that's lived too long.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's our old mates. John has been gymming like a machine, fucking
Oh.
training like a beast. So you look exhausted. I will let you go, mate.
I'm tired. Yeah, so I've been a bit flat this one. There's been
No, me too, mate.
tired.
Not at
I
all,
get it
man.
as well, though. Not like you have. And from next week onwards, we're going to have far more people involved.
Yeah.
I'll see if I can get Socrates.
Literally, let's get Socrates on the show. Actually, an actor named Socrates. We've got Jordan, our DP, who's going to be on soon. We've got Ben, our first assistant camera, who's going to be on soon. He's worked on some mega productions recently, some of the biggest things that have come through Australia, so he'll have some great stories. Mason will be back, our composer, very soon once he's recovered from his fever. Hope you're feeling better soon, Mace.
Get well, man.
We've also got Sophia, our hair and makeup absolute legend, who makes all of this blood look like you guys are actually bashing each other up. Which, if you didn't have all this great blood and glass and gore and zombie death and veins on you, this would be much less of a professional production. And on soon is our amazing costume chick, Boo, who was the brains behind John's absolutely incredible vest.
Oh, I can't wait to speak to her.
Your bastard vest is a character in itself. It's exceptional. That whole thing is amazing. So she'll be on soon. She's week 2 into a new production called WT FAQ. It's in WT FAQ, which looks like it's a lot of fun. It's like a show where you're asking questions that you can't normally ask. Like, for example, I think one of the example ones was like how to join the Illuminati. Just answering fun questions like that. I'm not sure what costumes are required. Maybe they dramatize it. I don't know. Anyway, she's flat stack on that, but very keen to jump in, as are the rest of them. So, and then we've also got Aleki, who played Nico in the first 10 minutes, who I'd love to have on. I think the dynamic between you three would be awesome.
Yeah, that's cool.
So if you guys have anyone, Socrates and others that need to come on at some point, all ears, all in. Let's lock them in.
All right.
And we will see all of you guys next week.